watching us today. Maraming salamat po for joining the first day of the Manila Real Estate Forum for 2022. And of course, we're so happy to share with you one of the programs of Manila Board to give back to the industry, the Thrive in Project Selling Program. So this is primarily intended for our colleagues who are into project selling. So ano ba yung project selling dun sa mga umattend pero hindi masyadong familiar kung ano yon. So ito yung practice natin sa real estate wherein we're selling properties or projects of developers, diba? Ang dami-daming malalaking developers sa Philippines. And as they say, if you're new in the industry, it's best to start in project selling kasi dito talaga mahuhone ka. Mapiprepare ka if eventually you would want to go into brokerage naman. Marami sa mga kakilala natin na magagaling sa brokerage ngayon nagsimula talaga sa project selling. So we're looking forward to a 2-day of full pack learning because we have 4 carefully chosen speakers who will be sharing with us their expertise, of course, yung experience nila, yung wisdom na nagain through the years practicing project selling. So we're so excited to share with you these 4 topics, interesting topics and insightful topics. And I'm hoping that if your friends whom you know have registered to this program is not in the room yet, kindly text them to join in now kasi magsa-start na tayo in few minutes and ayaw nating may ma-miss sila. Actually, hindi in few minutes yung start natin. Magsa-start na tayo ngayon. So by the way, my name is Floy Vallespin. I am one of the directors of Manila Board of Realtors Inc. I'm also a sales director of SMDC. So I am a full-fledged project seller. And I'm so happy again to be with you today. So let's start the program. Let's formally start our first day. Let me call on our president, Ms. Boots Antonio, for the prayer and the welcome remarks. Ms. Boots?
Okay, thank you very much, Director Ploy. So for our prayer, let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. We ask for your blessings today, O Lord, and the days to come, with your loving and providential presence. Grant us the inspiration to dedicate with love and in service all that we do, say, think, and feel to you and all the people that we will encounter. May your Spirit always guide us and bless us with joy and gratitude each day. We lift up to you our family, our speakers for today, friends, colleagues. Bless them and our world. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening for those in other parts of the world. I'd like to welcome you all to day 1 of our Manila Real Estate Forum. Also today, November 3, the Manila Board of Realtors commenced the Manila Real Estate Expo Week for this year. So this is from November 3 to 9 of 2022. And this is by virtue of Manila City Council Resolution number 118, dated September 26, 2002, declaring November 3 to 9 and the same week year thereafter as the Manila Real Estate Expo Week. So like what Director Ploy said earlier, we have invited 4 great speakers, the pillars and guru of project selling, to inspire and motivate all of us as we take our careers to greater heights. We are also launching our board's new program, MBRTIPS, or Thrive in Project Selling. This is a free webinar brought to you by the first and premier real estate organization in the Philippines and in Asia, the Manila Board, its Education and Project Selling Committee, and co-presented by SMDC, June Garing, School of Professional Selling, EIM Realty, Real Estate News and Habitats. So to start, I'd like to call our chair for Project Selling Committee and the incoming VP Internal for 2023, Consultant Laureline Pabelon, to introduce our first speaker.
Hello, good morning, Manila Board. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Manila Board of Realtors Realty Week celebration. Today, we are very honored to have with us one of the very successful persona in project selling. It is with much honor to introduce to you our very first speaker for the webinar. Our speaker hailed from Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro, and was awarded as one of the katangi-tanging anak ng Nauhan, a valedictorian of Mindoro Vocational School and a consistent scholar of the University of the East. He authored 4 best-selling books on sales, namely Filipino Art of Breakthrough Selling, Superb Selling Secret, Buyer-Based Selling, and Effective Selling by Reading Your Buyer's Eyes. He is one of the first 5 diplomates in real estate management by FIABC. He's a franchisee of Tom Hopkins Training International, Questcom's Bulletproof Management System, a first certified trainer of Motorola University in Singapore, sold out mahogany groves of Aboitiz land in less than 3 months before launching. He also sold over 1,200 club shares of Casino Español de Cebu, the first tranche of Hilton Resort Club in 30 days. He has trained over 150,000 salespeople in the past 38 years in real estate, an outstanding salesperson for 2 consecutive years in 1975 to 1977 with Philippine Education Company. He is also a recipient of the Marketing Man of the Year in 2009 by NREA. He is happily married and all his 3 children graduated with honors at the Fresno University, USA. He is known for his slogan in life with his training partner over 30 years. The late Dr. Felipe Landahocano, the first Filipino top anthropologist with the slogan, "Kapag may tiwala sa sarili, masigla ang damdamin. Kahit anong problema o quota, kakayanin." Let us all welcome and listen to the #1 sales guru in the Philippines, my fellow Kamangyan, Mr. Diosdado Jungaring, for his topic on how to turn arguments into agreement.
Thank you, Manila Board. Thank you, kababayan. Kababayan ko pala kayo. So may
Yes
buntot
po.
din pala, may buntot din pala kayo, Miss Pabelion.
Yes, sir.
Sige. No, noon kasi pagka mangyan no. Alam mo ba ang origin bakit na-develop yung word mangyan?
Yung ating mga Aborigines of Mindoro.
Okay.
I'm from Victoria po.
Okay. Kasi sabi ng mga Kastila, di ba? Mga Pigapetta, yung mga writer nung araw. Di ba? Bakit daw, totoo ba ang pangalan ng pumatay kay Magellan is Lapu-Lapu? Sabi ng mga Kastila, di ba? Sabi ng mga Kastila sa mga writer lang 'yon, di ba? Nung dumaong daw sila, high tide, no? Magaling talaga sila Lapu-Lapu, ano? High tide para more or less to mga Kastila sa dami ng kanilang mga armor, di ba? Hindi sila makakalakad. So nung nakita nila si Lapu-Lapu, hindi pa naman yun ang pangalan ni Lapu-Lapu eh. Sabi niya, La Punyeta. So, doon daw na-develop. Ayun ang pangalan ni Lapu-Lapu. But anyway, joke lang. Ganun din daw nung pumunta ng Mindoro kasi nga Mindoro, Virgin Island pa lang eh. Kaya nga medyo tawag nila mangyan. Sabi ko na-develop. But anyway, pinapatawa ko lang kayo. Masyadong serious yata ang Manila Board of Realtors at saka mga members and officers and staff together with a champion team of no other than Floy. So, good morning, Floy.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you for inviting me to become part of your advocacy. This is my second time to join the MBR learning sessions, and I'm very happy to share what I have been observing as for the past Pwede bang masabi that I have been in the industry for the almost 40 years?
Yes.
Sige, as an observer, at the same time, a participant. Don't worry, 18 years old pa lang ako with 50 years experience. Di ba? Ganun lang ako, magdidibo pa lang ako. So anyway, welcome to the Meeting of the Champions. I am tasked to share with you one of the 5 major reasons why we fail to close a sale. Di ba? Alam na naman natin to. For the new ones, probably it's something new. And for the veterans like us, probably it's a reminder, familiarity of what we already know. So let me start by just enumerating the 5 major reasons why we fail to close a sale. Sabi nga natin, one of the reasons why we fail to close is because we fail to qualify, no? In other words, hindi ka marunong mag-qualify o mag-disqualify. Akala mo prospect yung kliyente mo, suspect pa lang pala. At hindi pa qualified prospect or future prospect, di ba? So very, very important. Alam naman natin yan, no? Very, very important na marunong tayo mag-qualify. So number 2, sabi nga ng mga expert, lalo na sa project selling, yung tinatawag na value perception. Ang mura sa'yo, mahal sa akin. Ang mahal sa'yo, mura sa akin. Siguro familiar yan, no? Kaya nga may research kami dyan sa mga nag-stay dito sa mga manning, di ba? Manning is usually one of our medium to promote our project, no? Minsan naaawa ako dun sa mga ina-assign sa mga mall na hindi man lang sila nati-train, maybe may kaunting product knowledge, tapos i-assign agad sa mall from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. without properly trained dito sa ating isi-share, yung ating handling objections. Observation lang ko lang ito. Bagitong-bagito, fresh from college, inassign dito sa isang mall kasi meron siyang exhibit. And normally, I'm sure, pag nagtatanong na ng presyo, magkano ba yung inyong SMDC light residence dito sa EDSA? Sabi niya ho, 5 million ho. Ang mahal naman. Pangalawa, dumating na naman. Magkano yan? Ang mahal naman. Pang-3, pang-4, pang-5, pang-6, ang mahal naman. Sa palagay niyo, anong mangyayari? Sa ikapito, pag sinabi nung nag-walk-in, ang mahal naman. I'm sure, pag walang training, ang sasabihin ng property specialist, if you call them property specialist, ay pati nga ako namamahalan eh. Di ba? So basically, yan ang second reasons, no? Yung value perception. Ang mura sa iyo, mahal sa kanya. Ang mahal sa iyo, mura sa akin. So titingnan natin kung paano natin matutulungan yung mga bagito para i-handle yung this kind of objection. Ang mahal naman. Third, meron tinatawag tayong ghost, no? Ang tawag diyan, unresolved issue. Anong ibig sabihin ng unresolved issue? I'm sure you have all experienced that, na ang ganda ng presentation mo, talagang gumastos ka pa sa iyong site inspection, di ba? All the material, sinubmit mo na, all the computations and options, and then suddenly, after giving all the information, sasabihin sa iyo, pag-iisipan ko muna. I'll think it over, I'll ask my asthma, di ba? I have to ask my wife, I have to ask my husband. So, ang tawag dito, nagkakaroon ng procrastination. Do you agree? Di ba? Pag sinabing I'll think it over, hindi natin malaman ano ba yung pag-iisipan niya. It's a ghost. So this time, maybe we can share with you some ideas on how do you break down that you don't let them see the forest, let them see individual trees. Ano ba talaga yung pag-iisipan nila? I'm sure these are also one of the major reasons why we fail to close a sale. And number 4, yung sinasabi nga natin, you don't know how to sell the future. Diba? Sabi nga natin, if we are in the in the real estate, whether pre-development stage, developing, or developed stage, we are always selling the future, di ba? And one of the reasons why we fail to close the sale is we don't know how to capture their imagination. In other words, hindi tayo marunong mag-create ng sense of urgency. So that's also a challenge for us. How do you build that desire? Not to buy tomorrow, but now, di ba? So dito mo makikita yung mga champion salesperson, how they capture their imagination. Sabi nga natin UBE ang formula natin, no? UBE, as if they're already using prospect pa lang, pero ang tingin mo parang client na. Number 2, kung investor yan, as if nagbe-benefit na sila. How it appreciates, no? And as if naliligo na sa Olympic-sized swimming pool dyan sa mga light residences and many other project ng SMDC. Di ba? So as if they're already enjoying. So that's the challenge, no? How do you build that desire and that sense of urgency? Simply said, by capturing their imagination. As if, sabi nga natin, they're already using, as if they're already benefiting, as if they're already enjoying. And the last, which we are going to tackle today, is basically maybe they lack skills on handling objections. So dito po tayo magfo-focus, di ba? Sabi nga natin let me ask each one of you, those of you, we are around over 119 present today. Let me ask each one of you, pakitype na lang yung kung anong response nyo. Do you love objections or do you hate objections? So, sige. Do you love objections or do you hate objections? Sabi nga natin, of course, tama si Vilma. Thank you, Vilma. We love objections. Bakit? Sabi nga natin, if we don't love objections, what will happen to us? What will happen if we don't love objections? Wala tayong trabaho. Di ba? It becomes a consumer item, no? Commodity na lang. Di ba? It's like a buy and sell na lang. No, wala nang challenge ang salesperson. Di ba? Kaya siguro para more or less I can relate more or less dito sa ating special module today, i-type lang nyo yung mga common major objections na nai-encounter ninyo para more or less meron tayong immediate application sa mga techniques and strategies that we're going to share with you. Sige po. Sige, i-type lang nyo yung mga objections na nai-encounter ninyo. Sige, paki-type lang po. Ayan, nababasa ko. Ang mahal naman. Di ba? Pre-development, hindi pa ready. Matatapos ba talaga yan? O maganda lang sa picture? O maganda lang kayo sa brochure? Ano pa yung mga objections? Masyado naman maliit ang space, sabi nga ng mga Filipino-American. Yung inyong one bedroom, kubeta ko lang yan sa Amerika. Alam mo naman, pagka mga galing sa Amerika, no? Yung mga nasanay na doon for the past 10, 20, or 30 years, no? Space is always means affluence, no? So very, very important. Ano pa? Ang layo naman, di ba? Masyadong mahal. Ayan. Wala pa akong nakikitang community. Sigurado ba na magkakaroon ng community niyan? Malayo, mahal. Unlike itong mga house and lot, ito 50 years lang. Di ba? May expiration in terms of a condominium law, 50 years. But anyway, now let me ask another question. Di ba? Ito ba objection ng kliyente o objection ng ahente? Sige po. Para mayroon tayong participation. Yung mga in-enumerate ninyo, ito ba ay objection ng kliyente o objection ng ahente? O, nakita ko kay Lisa, sabi niya, kliyente. Client, sabi ni Nelson. HRBRM, SMDC, client. Agent sometimes. Kliyente na pinaniniwalaan ng ahente. Okay? O sige, majority, sabi, objection ito ng kliyente. Now, let's go to the challenge, di ba? Ano ba talaga binibenta natin as a salesperson? Whether end user, whether investor. Anong binibenta natin sa mga kliyente natin? Sabi nga natin, what's in it for me? WIIFM, di ba? Ano bang pakinabang ko dyan? That's the keyword. Ano bang benefit ko? O, di ba? So in other words, what we are selling are the benefits, no? Whether as a lifestyle, as an end user, whether as an investment, or as an speculator or an investor, di ba? So dalawa lang naman ang pupuntahan yan. Either end user or investor, speculator. So again, tingnan nyo yung mga in-enumerate ninyo. In-enumerate nyo yung mga napakaraming objections. Ang mahal naman, pag-iisipan ko muna, napakalayo, napakaliit, may suki na ako. Sigurado bang matatapos yan? I have a bad experience with you, etc., etc. Di ba? So in other words, you know the objections ng kliyente. So ang challenge, paano mo maibebenta yung benefits na ino-offer natin? Do you agree? Just like yung hinighlight ko kanina. Ano yung hinighlight ko kanina? Yung isang fresh from college na assigned sa mall, wala man lang ka-training dito sa ating handling objections. Wala siyang na-encounter palaging the first 6 na nag-walk-in. Ang mahal naman, ang mahal naman, ang mahal naman. Hanggang sa ikapito, anong sinabi ng property specialist? Pati nga ako namamahalan. So sa palagay niyo, anong nangyari? Naibenta ba niya yung benefits? O nabentahan siya ng objection ng kliyente? Obvious naman, di ba? Mas magaling ang kliyente magbenta ng objections. Ang mahal naman, and then later on, after 6 times, sabi nung untrained salesperson, ay pati nga ako namamahalan eh. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Tinalo ka sa negotiation. Hindi mo na ibenta yung benefits ng kliyente mo, nabentahan ka ng objections ng kliyente. Kaya alam niyo ba ang conclusion ko? Lahat ng enumerate nyo kanina, most of them are objection ng ahente. Bakit? Kasi they lack the skills in handling the objections. Obvious yan. May ebidensya ako. Anong aking evidence? Pag binasa ko yung sales report ng mga salesperson at tatanungin ko siya as probably the manager or the team leader kung bakit wala siyang benta. Pag binasa ko yung sales report niya, anong nakalagay doon? Yung mga objection, kasi ang mahal, malayo daw, maliit daw yung space, no? Pag-iisipan daw niya muna, may suki na siya, nagkaroon siya ng bad experience, di ba? So ang nakasulat doon, yung mga objections ng mga kliyenteng nakausap niya. So what is obvious? Mas magaling ang kliyente magbenta ng objection kesa sa mga ahente magbenta ng benefits, no? So very, very important to remind us this kind of strategy. Ano nga sabi natin? Handling objection is a matter of changing one's perspective, no? Pag nabago yung pananaw mo, matatalo ka sa negotiation. Kailangan mabago mo yung pananaw ng kliyente. Just like what happened in that specific situation. So yun ang challenge sa atin. How to change one's perspective. Di ba? So, yan ang challenge sa atin. So, unang-una siguro, what we're going to do is to differentiate three terms. Alam na nyo ito, no? It's just a reminder of what you already know. Kailangan familiar tayo sa tatlong terms na to. Ano ito yung mga term? First, the word objection. Sabi nga natin how do you define objection? Sabi nga ng mga expert, objection is a client begging you, tell me more, tell me more. Hindi kita naiintindihan. In other words, ang definition niya ng objection is a client begging you. It's a request for more information. So, kailangan klaro yon, no? Nobody object, nobody buys unless they object, unless they ask question, unless they challenge you. So, clear yan. Nobody buys unless they object, they challenge you. So, that's why very, very important, alamin natin that objection is a request for more information. And then, second terminology natin, condition. Ano yung condition? Sabi nga ng expert, again, condition is a valid reason for not going ahead with you. So it's a valid reason. Just like insurance, di ba? Meron niyang condition, age, at saka your health. Kaya rated ang tinatawag dyan. So it's a valid reasons for not going ahead with you. Di ba? Para bang sa brokerage selling, no? Or not necessarily brokerage, kahit sa project selling. Alam mo, bibili ako sa iyo kung mabebenta ko muna yung lupa ko, yung bahay ko, etc., etc. Tulungan mo muna akong ibenta to. Pagkatapos, pag nabenta yan, saka ako bibili sa iyo. O, di ba? So, may mga conditions yan. Or, depende pa rin sa ibang mga conditions. Di ba? Conditional sale. Di ba? May mga conditional sale na tinatak. May mga specific conditions. And third, meron tayong tinatawag na mga excuses. No? Excuses are in reality, these are minor objections. No? Ano yung mga excuses? Tsaka na lang, meron pa ako Marami pa naman kayong inventory. Bigyan mo muna ako ng brochure. Bigyan mo muna ako ng computation. Mag-submit ka muna ng proposal. Di ba? So these are just excuses. Minor objection na sometimes tinetest ka lang. Na bigyan ka ng konting objection, surrender ka agad. No? So tinetest yung iyong persistence, tinetest yung iyong patience, at tinetest ng kliyente whether you are the kind of person I would like you to serve, di ba? To be served, di ba? Naghahanap sila. Modern buyer today needs modern sellers, no? Kasi alam naman natin, di ba? Ulit-ulit na sinasabi yan na ang pagbili ng real estate, first time, is a major decision. Babayaran mo yan ng 30 years kung pag-ibig or 5 to 10 years sa bangko or in-house, di ba? So one of the major fear ng mga kliyente natin is fear of making bad decisions. Baka magkamali. That's why very careful sila in making this kind of decision. Maybe it's the only major decision at that major amount that they will do in their entire life. Ito yung mga first time buyer, no? Kaya dapat unawain natin sila. So ulitin ko lang, no? Para more or less mas-segregate nyo whether ang ibinibigay sa iyo, ito ba ay objection? Hindi ka lang talaga naiintindihan because you're using probably some technical terms, or maybe these are conditions, di ba? Or maybe it's just an excuses. Sabi nga ng mga champions, anong sabi ng champions? 2 condition lang ang tinatanggap natin. Ano yung conditions? No money, kaya no honey. Ano sabihin nun? You fail to qualify or no credit. normally credit rating sa America or other countries, di ba? Pag hindi ka nakapasa doon sa kanilang credit rating, di ba? More or less eliminated ka to avail mga loan benefits at saka privileges. So, dalawa lang yung tinatanggap natin, ha? Isulat nyo yun. Very, very important. No money at saka no credit. Dalawa lang naman, di ba? Dalawang klase lang naman ng terms, cash or terms, di ba? So, agreed tayo doon? So, let me have your agreement. Agree tayo na as a champion, dalawa lang ang tinatanggap nating objections, no money, at saka no credit. Okay. Now, I want you to write this down, all of you. Sana itong statement na ito maging memorable sa inyo. I'll challenge you with this statement. Kailangan isulat nyo to lahat, ha? Word for word. Isusulat nyo to. Sige po, isulat nyo to. All caps, tsaka bold letters lahat. Ito yung statement. If no condition exists. Sige po, isulat nyo. Para more or less, meron kayong remembrance na kahit papaano in 1 or over an hour, meron tayong pinagsamahan through this kind of a learning session given by the Premier Manila Board of Realtor. Sige po, sulat nyo. If no condition exists and they don't buy, if no condition exists and they don't buy, it's my fault. So ulitin natin, ha. Can we read all together para makita ko lang na talagang isinulat nyo all capital letter, all bold letter? Sige, let's read all together. Gusto kong marinig sa... let's read all together. Sabay-sabay tayo. 1, 2, 3.
If no conditions exist,
They don't buy.
it's my fault.
It's my fault. So hindi fault ng Manila Board of Realtors, ha? Hindi bold ng mga speaker, ha? Na absent ka, nakalimutan mo, and you are not reminded. So thank you for... tapos, hindi lang basta sinasabi. Gusto ko pirmahan nyo. Sign, the word sign, para may commitment kayo. O sige, pirmahan nyo muna para in front of you, meron kayong challenge for today's session. Napirmahan na? Sign, para binding, no? Binding agreement yan. So ulitin natin. Ulitin natin yung ating commitment for this today's program. Commitment natin. Ulitin natin. One more time. Sabi nga natin, repetition is the mother of learning. Sige, let's read all together one more time. 1, 2, 3.
If no conditions exist,
They don't buy.
Don't
it's
buy.
my fault.
It's my fault. Okay, pinirmahan na lahat sila? May pirma na lahat?
Yes.
Sige, thank you. So sabi nga natin, let's have fun in learning. No? Kailangan involved tayong lahat, no? Para more or less meron tayong takeaway after this first module by MBR. Sige, Nathan, can we have a sharing ng PowerPoint? We have a short presentation para more or less may idea kayo how we can apply, use it by following these recommended steps, no? Sige, mamaya na yung promotion. I'm doing a lot of master class. This is our 15th for this year, no? Every Thursday po ito. 6 modules of master class. Sige, next slide please. Again, these are the reference books. Ito yung kwento ng mga graduate namin the last 39 years, no? Sinulat ko na ho para makita natin yung mga successful application ng project. Yung best-selling, yung una, The Filipino Art of Breakthrough Selling. And then second, Customer ng Bida, how to sell from a buyer's perspective, buyer-based selling. And the third one, ito naman po yung reading your buyer's eyes, no? Parang NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So these are the reference materials, and this is where I wrote the success stories, how they apply what they have learned during our seminar. Sige, next slide, please. Okay, let's go to the challenge, di ba? Ang unang tanong lagi is, would you like to win an argument or would you like to win an agreement? I'm sure lahat tayo. We want to win an agreement. We don't want to win an argument. Diba? Sabi nga natin, sometimes, a little background, we are trained by this technique. Siguro, nagagawa na niyo yan before or probably currently, ginagamit mo rin ito. Ito yung tinatawag na yes, but. Diba? Yung bang agree, then you disagree. Ang mahal naman, yes, but. Ang layo naman, yes, but. Ang liit naman ng space, yes, but. Diba? So ito yung tinatawag na argumentative approach in handling objection. You will agree, then you will disagree. Yes, but, yes, but. You know, Filipinos are very, very sensitive. Kaya careful with your words, di ba? Kaya very, very important, dapat matanggal sa vocabulary ninyo itong word na yes, but. Yes, but. Babatukan ka ng kliyente later on. Mag-a-agree ka, then you will disagree. So, yun ang pinaka-bottom line, no? Now, para maiwasan yan, one of the best, probably the classic trainer for the past 50 years, no? Yung aking mentor, way back 1983, no? No other than Tom Hopkins, no? Anong sinabi niya? Very, very important. Siya yung author ng best-selling book, until now, still best-selling, How to Master the Art of Selling Anything. Tanda nyo, sa title pa lang, anything, ha? You can sell your wife, your husband, gamitin mo lang yung kanyang techniques at saka strategies, you can sell anything. So, ganun kagaling. That's why nasa Guinness Book of World Records siya before, no? Until now siguro, for selling 365 houses and lots in 366 days, no? Yan si Tom Hopkins, no? Sammy Awardee. Kung familiar kayo sa Amerika, Sales and Marketing Man of the Year ng NAR USA, National Association of Realtors, no? Yun ang record ni Tom Hopkins. So, yun ang reference natin. But of course, lalagyan natin ng Filipino applications. That's why I always acknowledge the two sources of my material, no? One from Tom Hopkins, and of course, from our expert on Filipino values and culture, Dr. Felipe Landa Hucano. Siya ho yung nag-customize, nag-localize ng mga program namin na foreign program. But if you are going to apply in the country, dapat medyo i-fine-tune mo to the local culture, environment where you operate. Sabi nga, para mga Japanese, di ba? Ano yung sabi ng mga Japanese? Do not invent the wheels because the wheels are already invented. You just get their technology, rework it, and then re-engineer it back. Tatakan mo ng Hitachi. Ano sabihin? Anything he touches, they Japanize. So, ganun din naman kami. What we do, we Hokkanize the program para mas mauunawaan natin. O going back, para matanggal yung argumentative approach because of Filipino sensitivity. Kailangan ma-eliminate natin, ma-delete. Na pagsasagutin mo yung objection, huwag yung yes, but, no? Argumentative yan, no? So let me give you the steps para more or less you can follow. Sige, next slide. But before that, kailangan ito, nagdasal na kayo kanina, no? Sige, let me just share with you. Kung napansin nyo, paulit-ulit yung champion, the word champion song. So let's guide ourselves with this champion's prayer. This was shared way back 1983 during the live seminar dito sa Philippines ni Tom Hopkins. So let's read all together muna para more or less pampasigla ito. We call this the champion's prayer. So let's read all together. 1, 2, 3.
Today I will win.
I will win.
Why?
Why?
I'll tell
Because
you
I have
why.
faith, courage.
Because I have faith,
I have
courage,
courage
and
and
enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. I
And
walk there
success and happiness
and
will be
happiness will
mine
be
because I
mine
walk,
because I
walk,
walk,
act,
act,
think, and live
and
like a
believe
successful
as a
person I
successful
am
person I
becoming.
am.
So help me God.
Okay, so thank
So
you
help
ha.
me God.
So picturean nyo. Magandang reminder ito. Marami nang gumagamit nito, talagang marunong sila mag-psych ng sarili nila. Sa Amerika, ang tawag dito, inner winner, di ba? Auto-suggestion or self-talk. Sa Pilipinas, ang tawag dito, orasyon. O, di ba? Ito yung orasyon ng mga champions. O, sige, at least meron kayong reminder, no? Na ito lagi yung dasalin nyo, and it will change your perspective. Sabi nga natin, positive words make positive difference, no? So ito, auto-suggestions, talagang mababago yung subconscious mind mo. Pagka ito sinapuso mo everyday, paggising pa lang sa umaga, 3 times sasabihin mo, hindi yung babasahin lang. Kasi pag binasa mo lang ito, compliance lang yan di ba? Nagko-comply ka lang. 7% lang ang effectiveness niyan. Pero pag inulit mo, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Lagyan mo ng emotion plus 38%. Pero kung lalagyan mo pa yun ng action, the way you say it, with all your body, mind, strength, spirit, and soul, diba? Plus 55%, 100%, papasok ito sa subconscious mind mo. Of course, the key word is repetition. O sige, next slide. And of course, today, since we have a limited time, share ko na rin sa inyo itong Champions Motto. Ito ang tawag namin dito, konsyensya ng mga ahente. Di ba? Sabi nga natin, ang mga ahente, ayaw nila na binabantayan sila. Police state. Kasi pag binabantayan mo yung ahente, ang ibig sabihin nun, wala kang tiwala sa akin. At kung wala kang tiwala sa akin, wala rin akong tiwala sa iyo. Di ba? Mas maganda kung meron silang tinatawag na self-imposed. Di ba? Kaya ito ang tawag dito ni Tom Hopkins, Champions Motto. Di ba? Para bang ganito, yung bang pag-join nyo itong ating 153 participants today. Di ba? Tanungin mo yung sarili mo with this question. Sige, let's read all together. Maganda ho itong reminder. It's a good time management principle, no? It will remind you to do the most
productive thing possible at every given moment.
Okay, one more time. Gusto kong marinig huli. Para itong
I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment.
Most productive thing possible.
I must do the most productive.
Okay, so yung bang pag-attend nyo rito, the most productive thing possible? One more time, gusto kong ulitin. This time, I want you to put your name after the word I. Sulat nyo, I, June Gary.
I now we propose must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment.
So, lagi natin ko na, so help me God. Diba? Lagi yung formula. So help me God. Diba? We always put
help me God
in all our undertakings. And sigurado ko, it will crown your effort with success. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the champions reading. Sige, next slide.
I like you more.
Okay, so sabi nga natin, no? Sometimes, hindi natin alam ang tunay na definition between selling and closing. That's why very important, hina-highlight namin to. Ang unang nagbigay ng definition nito, McGraw-Hill, way back 1905. Dinefine niya ang selling, that selling is an art of rendering service. O dapat clear yun, di ba? We are paid in direct proportion with the service we render. Kaya dapat isa puso natin that selling is an art of rendering service. But what is closing? Define din natin yung closing. Maganda itong definition ni Tom Hopkins ng closing. Di ba? One of the best definition. Sige. Let's read all together para more or less makaka-relate tayo. Closing is, sige, let's read all together.
Closing is professionally helping people make a decision that are good for them. Closing professionally helping people make
Okay,
decisions
diba?
that are
So,
good.
kailangan, alam niyo yung differentiation, ha? Selling is an art, but closing is a skill. So, dapat i-combine natin yung art and a skill. Kaya very, very important para malaman natin bakit di tayo nakaka-close. A lot of people knows how to sell, but they don't know how to close. That's why very important to master natin one of the major reasons why we fail to close a sale is because we lack the skills of handling objections. At pag magaling ka na dyan, closing will follow smoothly. Kasi mas mauunawaan ka na ng kliyente. Sabi nga natin luwa. That's the secret, luwa. First, you listen kung ano yung concern ng mga kliyente natin. And once you listen, active listening, importante, sabi nga ni Dr. Rocano, unawain, understanding. In English lang ito ni Stephen Covey, di ba? Ano yung kanyang habits of the champion? 7 habits. Seek first to understand, then be understood. Yun naman ang sikreto ng lahat di ba? Unawain mo muna yung kliyente, but make sure maunawaan ka rin niya. So that's the key words. That's why first we'll listen. And once we listen with our client, we understand them. Then it follows you will have an agreement. So very, very important yung ganong simple steps. No? You listen to understand. And once you understand them, easily agreement follows. Sige. Sige, let's go to the steps, no? Recommended steps. Marami namang steps, no? But basically, very, very important, this laser principle, no? Laser steps. Practicein nyo ito after this module. Subukan nyo ito. Practicein nyo sa sarili nyo, practicein nyo sa kaibigan mo, practicein mo sa kapatid mo, sa mga katabi mo. Kung paano gamitin ito para matanggal yung ating traditional na yes but, yung argumentative way of handling objection. So, step 1, sabi nga natin, listen. Kaya nga sabi natin, bakit ang daming peace talks hindi successful? Kasi everybody talks, kaya there's no peace. Kaya maybe pag peace listen, there will be peace if they will listen, no? Kaya sa halip na peace talks, kailangan peace listen. So very important, alam naman natin na yan, listen. But meron tayong tinatawag na active listening, no? Kailangan maramdaman ng kliyente, they feel it, na talagang nakikinig ka sa kanya. That's why the 2 steps that follow, very, very important. Sige, the second and the third step. So when you listen, you always acknowledge with sincerity. Para bang, ang mahal naman. Di ba? So talagang all ears, all eyes ka muna, ang mahal naman. Kailangan i-acknowledge mo agad. Di ba? Concern ho pala kayo sa investment involved. Di ba? So very important yung concern ho pala kayo. Pag-iisipan ko muna. Ay maganda ho, talaga nga pong pinag-iisipan yung mga bagay na ito. Nagkaroon ako ng bad experience with other developer. Ganun ho ba? Ano ho ang nangyari? Nauunawaan ko po kayo. So, kailangan i-practice nyo yan, no? In listening. Any objection, if you follow this, mas maganda ang rapport mo sa kliyente. Pag maganda ang dating mo, magaan ang damdamin ng kliyente sa'yo. Kaya dapat medyo i-fine-tune mo using these steps. Now, this is where the techniques comes in. Yung letter E. Again, next slide. Your ability to ask the right questions, no? Kaya explore. So dito tayo magfo-focus. Kasi dito na yung mga techniques. And we will share with you the strategies. Pag tinabing strategies, step by step how to do it right. Last step, before you properly respond. So, tandaan nyo itong laser, no? Ito yung pa-practicein ninyo and you'll be surprised pag naging habits ninyo ito. Pag nakabisado nyo ito, anong sasabihin nyo sa kliyente nyo, next client nyo after this seminar? Sasabihin nyo, ma'am, wala na ho ba kayong objection? Eh bakit naman? Eh kasi hindi ko ma-apply yung tinurong techniques ni Mr. Garing. So ganun yung confidence level mo. Tapos challenge mo pa yung kliyente. Ma'am, kung mag-o-object ko kayo, make sure it's difficult. Eh bakit naman? Eh baka hindi ako ma-challenge. O yun ang iyong competence level. Hindi naman ganun talaga, no? But basically, sinasabi ko lang sa iyo the word confidence na kahit anong objection, kaya mong sagutin. And you have the skills, you have the competence. And when you deliver ito, kailangan, di ba, enthusiastic ka. Di ba? Passionate ka na gusto mo talagang tulungan yung kliyente. I just mentioned 3 characteristics of the champion. Ano yun? Your confidence, the concept of tiwala, that you can handle any objection, condition, and excuses. Your competence, na meron kang mga skills, meron kang techniques and strategies, how to really handle the objections, and of course, the enthusiasm. Kaya palagi naming pinaulit-ulit yung 3 words na yan eh. Ano yung 3 words na yan? The concept of tiwala, the concept of kaya, and the concept of sigla. Ano yun? Mamaya ulitin natin na kapag may tiwala ka sa sarili, masigla ang iyong damdamin. Kahit anong objection, kaya mong i-handle. So those are the keywords na dapat prepare ka. That's the 3 characteristics ng mga champions. Any question at this point muna? Baka may mga tanong ko kayo sa steps. May mga variation yan. But basically, these are just the standard format, no? Para matanggal yung yes but, yes but. This is how you listen, and these are the steps in properly handling any kind of objection. Mas maganda ang dating mo rito sa kliyente rather than argumentative or battle of the wits. Pagalingan. Di ba? So very, very important. O sige. Any question at this point? If there are no questions, there are no answer. So agreed tayo. Nagagamitin natin ng steps nito whenever we encounter any form of objection. So let's go to the specific techniques, no? I'll just share with you 4 for the sake of time. If you want to know more, we invite you to join a more comprehensive training specifically on selling skills, no? Para more or less you will appreciate more. Okay, number 1 technique. Alam na nyo to, nilagyan lang namin ng brand or pangalan. What's the keyword on the put the shoe technique? Basically, the keyword is empathize, no? Not sympathize, empathize. What's the meaning? You feel what they feel, no? Nauunawaan mo yung kliyente. Di ba? Saan mo i-apply ito? Pwede rin sa price, ang mahal naman. Pwede rin sa bad experience with the developer, with the agent, with the service. Di ba? So marami ka pang i-apply ito doon sa in-enumerate nating mga objections. Di ba? Example lang, just to give you an idea. Example sa presyo. Di ba? Lahat ng kliyente today nagko-compare sa dami ng available competition. Available provider. So they always compare. They don't just decide, no? So they always, bakit ang presyo nyo 200,000 per square, samantalang dun sa kabila ay 180,000 lang. Pareho rin naman kayong pre-development price, no? Pre-development, no? Yung tinatawag na pre-selling, no? Pre-development. Bakit ang presyo nyo 200 sa akin, 180 dun sa kabila? Diba? Normal yan objection. Kino-compare kayo. So, one of the techniques is put the shoe. Pagka pinrobe mo na yung kliyente, di ba, by asking a series of questions, yung bang kino-compare nyo, merong ganitong amenities? Maganda ho ba ang location niyan? Etc. etc. Nagtatanong ka ng mga question na beneficial sa produkto mo. In other words, you have those competitive edge, no? Para you don't need to answer the objections. Sometimes yung kliyente mismo ang sasagot sa tanong niya. Kaya ngayon ang technique don't answer the objection, do let the client answer his own objections. Di ba? Parang sa mga project selling, sa mga subdivision. Normal yan. Pag kinu-compare kayo, bakit ang presyo mo 5,000 per square? Samantala yung nakita ko doon sa bandaron ay 3,500 lang. Minsan pag tinanong mo sila, yun ho bang nakita nyo ay malapit sa major road? Malayo. Maganda ho ba ang development within the area? Kilala ho ba yung developer? May track record, credibility, and reputation? As you ask all those questions, nare-realize niya, oo nga, ano. Di ba? Minsan hindi mo na sinasagot yung objection. Ang kliyente mismo ang nagre-realize bakit ganun ang inyong value. That's why very important. But the keywords here is ganito, di ba? The word siguro, if, in the word siguro naman kung kayo ang developer. Lalagyan nyo ng first class amenities na ganito, pagkatapos maganda ang location, etc., 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 pepresyuhan mo ba ng katulad na sinabi nyo o tama lang? Ay, kaya naman pala. Did you get the idea? Basta kahit anong sabihin ng kliyente, meron kang ganitong klaseng strategy. Example, bad experience. Pwede yan. Iho, anong company ka? This developer. I have a bad experience with your company. Bakit to? Anong nangyayari? Kasi sabi niya matatapos in 3 years. About 5 years na, hukay pa rin. So because of that bad experience, sinasummarize niya lahat kayo, bolero, sinungaling, iisahan lang para makabenta, etc. etc. Sometimes yun ang image ng mga untrained, di ba, salesperson. Bolero, sinungaling, iisahan ka lang, maboka, madada, at kamag-anak ni David Copperfield. Now you see, now you don't. May disappearing act. Diba? So, paano mo sasagutin yun? Siyempre, step 1, you apologize. Whether company mo yon, ahente mo yon, very, very important. Diba? You acknowledge them with sincerity. First of all, I'd like to apologize for what happened in the past. I hope I will not be judged by the performance of the previous one. Nag-apologize ka, hindi mo naman kasalanan, but in behalf of the company, you apologize. At siguro, gagamitin mo yung the word put the shoe, di ba? Siguro naman kung kayo si Floyd, meron kang property specialist na ganito ang ginawa sa kliyente, nangako ng ganito, hindi naman totoo, misrepresentation. Ano ho kaya sa palagay nyo ang gagawin? Abay, tatanggalin ko. Kung talagang tinanggal, ay naku, tinanggal na nga ho namin. And I am the new person to serve you. Make sure it's totoo ha. Baka mamaya, hindi pa naman tinanggal at nakita, akala ko ba tinanggal ka na. So, do not elaborate. Marahil lang nga ho, ganun ho ang gagawin. But do not elaborate. So, that's one of the basic way of handling situational objections, no? Yung put the shoe. Sige, number 2. Sige. Okay, change the base. Ano sabihin ng change the base? Lahat ng kliyente, meron tinatawag na model of the world. May frame of references sila. Diba? Ang mahal sa'yo, mura sa akin. Ang mura sa'yo, mahal sa'yo. Lahat may kanya-kanyang pananaw. So, anong challenge sa'yo? Babaguhin mo yung kanyang pananaw. Diba? Remember, handling objection is changing one's perspective. No? Example lang ito. Ito, observation ko lang. Lagi kong nakikita ito. Pag nagtatanong ang kliyente, di ba? Saan ba? Example, kung sakaling investor. Tandaan nyo, investor is speculator ang na-identify mo. Very, very important to find out their tinatawag na model of the world or kanilang frame of references. Pag sinabi ng kliyente, prospect mo pa lang, ang layo naman. Ay, ang layo. Di ba? Tingnan niyo, obserbahan niyo yung ibang ahente. Karamihan, ang sagot agad nila ay hindi po. Kinokontra, 2 ride lang. 3 ride lang. Di ba? So, doon pa lang, meron na agad argument. No? Hindi mo inunawa yung pananaw ng kliyente. Challenge mo agad at nagbigay ka agad ng solution. Ay, hindi ho malayo. 2 ride lang. Di ba? So, minsan, mali ang pagkakasagot. Based on the objection, ang layo naman. Dapat, ang sagot mo, tanong din, saan po ba kayo manggagaling? Di ba? Bakit saan po kayo manggagaling? Pag sinabi niyang, saan ba ang location nyo? Sa Cebu. Ay, ang layo. Di ba? Anong sagot mo? Talagang akong malayo, Cebu yan. Do you agree? Talagang normal ay ang layo. Kaya ang tanong, saan ba kayo magagaling? Sa Manila. Ay ang project mo sa Cebu. Ay ang layo. O, di ba? So, kailangan baguhin mo yung perspective niya. As an investor. Ang tanong mo agad, ma'am, as an investor. Ganito yung phraseology, ha? Ito yung narration mo. As an investor, ho. Saan ba kayo magbabase ng desisyon? Is it really the location or how your investment will appreciate? Kaya nga investor, di ba? Naghahanap sila ng lugar saan nila ipapark yung pera nila at saan sila mag-i-invest. Siyempre, I'd like to say how my investment will appreciate. O, dito mo i-educate yung kliyente mo. Alam mo, 3 klase yung phase namin eh. Meron ho kaming phase 1, ito ho yung develop na, RFO na. Phase 2 naman, ito naman yung developing stage, no? At itong phase 3, ito naman yung pre-development stage. Very, very important na ma-identify mo kung saan sila mag-i-invest, no? Kung gusto nilang malaking kita, no substitute for pre-development stage. Or the developing stage, mas mahal na pag fully developed. Diba? Clear naman siyan. So very, very important. In other words, ini-educate mo yung kliyente. Kaya ang tawag dito, change the base. Marami pang variations dyan. Diba? Ay bakit ito 10% ang binibigay? Bakit kayo 5% lang sa cash? Samantala yung isa 10%. So kailangan malaman mo, yun hubang developer nyo have been in the industry for the past 20 years? Bago pa lang, hindi ba nakakatakot pag bagong developer? Diba? Kasi nagbabase kayo ng decision, bakit ganun ang kanyang mga pricing system? Ganong kalaki magbigay ng discount. Minsan nakakatakot. Kaya nga, saan ba kayo magbabase ng decision? Yung bagong developer o itong developer with a track record for over 20 years, no? Depende yan kung sino yung nire-represent niya. So again, ang tawag dito, change the base, no? Yun ang mga phraseology. Sample lang yun, but you can create your own. What I'm trying to say is meron kayong iba-ibang proven words and phraseologies na magagamit mo. O sige, third. Ito yung tinatawag naming history readback. In other words, may mga na-identify tayo, suki na hawak na ng kalaban. In other words, a technique to handle competition. Very, very important, ma-identify mo kung ano yung situation, ano yung problem, ano yung implications. So, paano gamitin itong history readback? Example lang, no? Just an example lang, no? Marami tayong mga salesperson, pagka sinabi, sir, suki na ng ganito. Sir, wala na tayong gagagawa, hawak na ng ganito. O, di ba? So, pag dito mo tutulungan yung mga tao mo o yung sarili mo, how to handle competition. Ang tawag ko dito sa pharmaceutical industry, how to professionally salute an account. Professionally, from competitor. Di ba? Kasi nga, labanan sa kanila is market share. Di ba? Market share na lang ang labanan sa ibang industry. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? History read back. Example lang ito, example, no? Halimbawa, pag sinabi ng kliyente, iho, suki na ako sa XYZ developer. When it comes to my real estate requirement, dito ako kumukuha. Di ba? So what do you do given that situation? Kaya ang tawag dito, history read back. Babasahin mo yung kanyang history. Probably ganito yung tanong mo. How long have you been being served by XYZ? For the past 10 years, I've been getting my investment through this company. That's the question number one, history. Di ba? Second question, prior to XYZ, meron ho ba kayong ibang tao o developer na kinukuhanan ng ganitong klaseng investment? Maybe you can identify, yes, 5 years ago, I'm using ABC before XYZ. Diba? Nakita niyo yung history? Third question, when you change from ABC to XYZ, did you get more benefits? Siyempre, kaya nga 5 years ko na akong suki dito eh. Did you get the idea? In other words, I capitalized on the word change. When he changed from ABC to XYZ, he gets more benefits. So dito ka papasok, dito yung punchline mo. Probably sasabihin mo, tingnan nyo, if you get those benefits because you consider change, di ba? Sir,
made it easy for us to market their projects via online marketing. The free webinar trainings we received
Kanyang mga
Recording in
parishioner.
progress.
Ang research niya, kasi sa mga senior citizen, na kung sakaling mamamatay kayo, anong klaseng kamatayan ang gusto nyong ma-experience? Nasusunog? Di ba? Nasagasaan? Di ba? Etc. Na hold up, etc. 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 So nagbigay siya ng mga cases, no? Pagkatapos, ano yung lumabas na number 1? Na kung sakali daw silang mamamatay, ano yung paraan para sila mamatay? Any guess? Can you text? Katulog. Ano? Tama. Nakuha agad, di ba? Kung mamatay ako, sana natutulog na lang ako. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Warning. Baka ho today, itong 171 participants, meron hong natutulog dito because of our seminar. Sorry na lang ho, baka self-fulfilling prophecy. Kaya, hoy!
Gising.
Gising. Make sure, gising ho kayo, gising ha, delikado, baka yung research niya magkatotoo na dahil sa seminar na ito, marami hong nakakatulog. Di ba? Kaya kung minsan ang problema, minsan tinatanong ko yung ibang participants At let me ask mga participants dito. Kung minsan ho ba, hindi kayo makatulog? Kung minsan hindi ho ba kayo nakakatulog?
Yes, sir.
No, okay, may sagot. Yes, sir.
Yes po.
O sige. Nagrereklamo ba kayo kung minsan hindi kayo nakakatulog?
Yes po.
Okay. Now let me ask you. Gusto ba nyo hindi makatulog o gusto ba nyo hindi na magising?
Hindi makatulog.
Yun, tanda nyo. So magpapasalamat ho kayo pagka kayo ay hindi na makatulog. Mas mahirap po yung hindi na nagigising. Do you agree? So kaya
Yes.
ulit ko, hoy,
Gising.
gising. Sige po, let's participate. Sige, let's get involved. Baka may mga tanong ko kayo because if there are no questions, there are no answers. Sige po, papacilitate na lang kung may mga tanong based on, para makita nyo, kung meron kayong need some clarification kung paano i-apply po ito. Any question at this point? Any clarification? Violent objection? Vehement opposition? If there are no questions, there are no objections. Anything you want to be clarified? Ano yung specific application based on your current objections that they encounter? Before I shared with you other approaches. No? Sige po, any question at this point? You can just mute and talk or para mas marinig natin, para mas ma-appreciate natin. Okay. That's good. Sir, paano po kung hindi lalabas na hard sell? That's true. Pag sinabing hard sell, ito yung talagang argumentative, no? Pag sinabing soft sell, ito yung paggamit ng laser, no? Di ba? Mahinahon, kalma. Hindi yung sasagutin mo, ang mahal naman. Di ba? Tapos, abrupt mo sasagutin. Hindi ho mahal yan. Wala na hong mura ngayon. Lahat to mamahal. Di ba? So, paano daw? Let me just give you an example. Paano daw yung para hindi hard sell? Ito bagay na bagay. Not real estate related, but Very applicable to. Ito yung kliyente ko na nagbebenta ng kaldero. Nabenta no ba kayo ng kaldero na 100,000 isang set, wala pang ulam?
Opo.
Di ba? Ayun, di ba? Ito yung kliyente. Bilib ako sa mga ahente ng kalderong yun eh. Bakit sa introduction pa lang,
Salad
makikita mo yung
master.
sense of pride, yung mga pilcraft, di ba? Mga pilcraft ng araw. Di ba? The way they introduce themselves, ako impressed na ako. Kasabihin nila, ako po'y ahente ng kaldero. Itong kaldero ito, 100,000 isang set, wala pang ulam. Kaya, James, pagka nag-raise ka ng kamay, James,
Yes po.
binentahan ka ng kaldero, 100,000 isang set, wala pang ulam. Ano agad ang immediate response mo? The word?
Ang mahal naman.
Ang mahal naman. Tingnan nyo ha, kung gaano kakalma itong ahenteng ito ng Philcraft. Nagbebenta ng kaldero pero milyonarya. Top producer yan ng Philcraft. Paano niyo sagutin to? Hindi niya sinasagot agad. In fact, ina-admit pa niya. Ang sagot ay talaga nga hong mamahalin itong kalderong ito. James, pag bumili ka ba ng bahay at lupa o kaldero, gusto mo ba pag bumili ka ng bahay at lupa mo, condominium, mamahalin mo pag binili mo o mumurahin mo? James, anong gagawin mo? Mamahalin mo o mumurahin mo?
Mamahalin sir pagka nabili mo na
Kasi, syempre. Kaya di ba, nakita nyo, ay syempre, mamahalin mo. Hindi yung bumili ka, tapos mumurahin mo. Did you get the idea? So parang konting humor, sa kanya ibibigay yung logic. Tandaan yung keywords ha. Filipino buy emotionally, not logically. You must be emotionally convinced first, then logically persuaded. Kaya pag sabi niya, ay talaga nga hong mamahalin ito. Ay bakit naman hong mamahalin? Number 1, kasi 7 ply. Number 2, yung mineral na pipreserve. Number 3, lifetime yung guarantee. Hinuhuli niya yung logic. Di ba? Kailangan ma-convince mo na emotionally. So parang ganun ang kanyang approach. That's why, nung trinin ko yung mga 500 top producer worldwide, alam mo, anong nakita ko sa mukha ng mga top seller nila? Ang mukha nila, mukhang kaldero na lahat. 5 ply, 7 ply. In other words, they don't take rejection personally. Diba? Rejection is not a person. It's just an event. But anyway, sometimes, sabi nga natin, pag ang kliyente na pangiti mo, you build rapport.
question.
And later on, komportable ka na huli, more or less, di ba? Pag nakita ng kliyente, magaan ang damdamin niya sa iyo, kasi maganda ang dating mo, magaan ang damdamin niyo, sometimes bumubukas ang kliyente. Rather than masyado kang serious. Okay, maganda itong tanong kanina, no? Paano daw kung sabihin ng asthma? Di ba? Normal yan. I have to ask my wife, I have to ask my husband, I have to ask my children, I have to ask my friend, I have to ask my fellow licensed broker. Ano daw yung gagawin mo? Di ba? Dito yung ginagamit yung question down. Every time pag sinabing, alam mo, I have to ask my friend. Dapat, ay maganda ho. Talaga hong dapat kuhanan yung advice ng iba para makita nyo that this is the right property, right investment for you. Di ba? And then, follow up with the immediate question. Ano yung question? Hindi mo naman tatanungin si Mr. kung hindi ka talaga interesado eh. Di ba? Di ba? So dito mo i-question, bibigyan mo ng mga tanong para more or less ma-breakdown pa ano yung hindi naunawaan sa iyo. A request for more information. And then probably maraming mga senaryo pupuntahan yan, di ba? I have to ask my wife. Kailangan mabilis yung second question nyo. Ano kayang sasabihin ng wife nyo pag kinuwento mo ito? Kailangan malaman mo agad, di ba? In advance kung ano yung, di ba? Kung kanino niya itatanong. And then may mga series of questions pa yan. Kaya nga question down, you break it down. Di ba? Do you think mas makakapag-explain ng mabuti yung husband sa wife o yung wife or husband rather than you yourself? Kasi expert ka sa yung product knowledge? Hindi. That's why probable questions mo, Ma'am, can I go with you so that more or less I can explain it better with your husband or with your wife? Lalabas na naman dyan. No. Ako na lang ang bahala. Let me just talk to you. Let me just talk to him or her. Di ba? Kailangan talaga papakiramdaman mo yung kliyente. So, dito mo gagamitin yung question down. So, yun ang mga possible scenario. Para may idea lang kayo, ano yung specific technique na gagawin mo. Ay maganda talagang dapat i-consult ito sa mga kaibigan natin. Hindi naman nyo i-consult kung hindi kayo interesado. Di po ba? So very, very important. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng question down. O sige, meron pa akong nakitang objections kanina. Di ba? I think back out, no? What do you do with the back out, no? So dito namin sinishare. Sige, let me share with you the 7 forms of evidence, no? Sige. Next slide lang ito para may idea kayo. At least you have an idea already kung paano gamitin ito. So let me share with you a phrase, tinatawag ko dito ng mga, ang tawag dito, win-result statement. Ito yung punchline. From your presentation, gagawa kayo ng magandang win-result statement. In other words, a closing statement. Let me share with you the traditional way of presentation. Ano yung traditional way of presentation? Ang traditional way of presentation is basically what? You talk about the feature, you talk about the advantages, and you talk about the benefits, di ba? Enumeration style. Ma'am, these are the 3 reasons why you should invest with our project. Number 1, location. Number 2 is the developer. Number 3, meron kaming promo, whatever, di ba? So, di ba, ini-enumerate lang natin. At least meron ka laging 3. There are 3 reasons why you should invest with our project. And ito yung advantages, ito yung mga benefits, di ba? That's the traditional tell way of presenting. Now, this is the modern way of using the FAB. So, tingnan nyo to ha. Number 1. When you talk about the feature, next slide. Sige, when you talk about the feature, you start with the word because. So, tanda nyo, the word because. Pag meron kang na-identify na gusto ng kliyente, example, nakita niya yung Olympic-sized swimming pool. Ang laki ng swimming pool ng mga SMDC project sa gitna, di ba? So nakita mo, yung lolo, siguro lolo, actual to ha, lolo, nakita niya na ang ganda ng swimming pool, kaya gusto niyang kunin yung location ng kanyang 3-bedroom across or in front of that big swimming pool. So yun ang nakita niyang feature. Eksakto, level yung kanyang condominium, eksakto doon sa malaking swimming pool. So start the word because. Because you choose a location across with a view of our Olympic-sized swimming pool. So yun ang unang statement mo ha. Now, anong advantages? Ito naman yung keywords. I learned this from Motorola University when I was training with them, no? When you talk of advantages, start with the word you can. So, ulitin natin yung phraseology, ha? Because you choose a location with a view dito sa aming Olympic-sized swimming pool. Anong advantage? You can. What is you can? You can see your apo na naliligo, safe and secure. Kasi nakikita mo eh. Kasi napili mo. Did you get the idea? Gagawa kayo ng sarili niyong phraseology. I'm just giving you some example. It really happened, no? This really happened, no? Kung paano ginamit itong phraseology nito. Now, what's the benefit? It's the personal side. So ito yung keywords. What it means to you. So tandaan niyo yung mga keywords, ha? So let me Let me narrate again the closing statement. Because you choose a location with the view of the Olympic-sized swimming pool, you can see your apo. Kasi lolo bumili para sa mga apo niya. So you can see your apo swimming safe and secure. The keyword, what it means to you. What it means to you, you have a peace of mind. Kasi nakikita mo yung mga apo mo na nililigo safe and secure. Now let me ask you, mas maganda ba itong pakinggan? Mas maganda ba itong pakinggan?
Yes.
Mas
Yes.
maganda. Ang question, bibili na ba siya? It depends. Di ba? Ang ibig ko sabihin, it's nice to hear. Do you agree? But the most important thing today in handling objection is you are like a lawyer. Ano yung sabihin ng lawyer? When you say something, prove it. Diba? Did you get the idea? In other words, yung traditional FAB, nilagyan ng letter E. Ano yung letter E? Ebidensya. Diba? Mas maganda when you say something, you prove it. Just like a lawyer. When they say something, they prove it. That's why, let me share with you the 7 forms of evidence na kailangan ready kayo. Whenever you are in the negotiation proper, nandun kayo sa most challenging part. Negotiation, meaning qualified. Pinabalik ka, nasa negotiation stage kayo, presentation, handling objection, closing na ang susunod. Kailangan ready kayo rito. So here are the 7 forms of evidence. Now you must always be ready. Number 1. Example, pag sinabi mo sa investor speculator, you know, this project will appreciate 10 to 15% 3 to 5 years from now. Ano nga sabi natin? When you say it, as a salesperson, they will doubt you. Kasi ahente ka eh. You promise heaven and earth just to close me. But when they say it, it's true. Pag ang kliyente ang nagsabi, maniniwala sila. Pag ahente ang nagsabi, hindi sila maniniwala. Kasi ahente ka. That's why you need facts. So ano ibig sabihin yan? Ready ka ng mga launching nyo 3 or 5 years ago. Para when you say it will appreciate by 10 to 15%, 3 to 5 years from now, you're not talking about bola. You are sincere because you give them facts. You show them, sir, ito 3 years ago, this is our launching when we launched this project. Ito ho yung current value ngayon. Nagsisinungaling ka ba? Hindi. Because you give them facts. That's one form of evidences. No? Number 2, analogies. Ayan, applicable yan. Lalo na ngayon nagbebenta sa ibang countries. No? Analogies yan. Sometimes you have to use analogy. Sa ibang bansa, let's face it, they are developed countries. Tayo, developing pa lang. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung nakakita niyo yung growth ng mga developing countries, maliit lang, mga 2%, 3% ang growth nila. Pag pumunta ka sa mga developing countries like us, nag-average from 5 to 7% in terms of growth. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Lahat ng investor naghahanap kung saang area ang growth potential, it's there. And of course, you can support with a lot of facts, studies, and research. So very, very important na kahit socialized housing, nag-a-appreciate sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Kaya sometimes you have to use analogy para makita nila why they should invest in developing countries rather than in a developed countries. The potential for growth is bigger. So, yun mga analogies. Number three, testimonials, no? There is no substitute for credible people who have done it before. Diba? With permission, you can use them, no? Kaya ginagamit yan, mga endorsement, no? So very important, makakuha ka ng ganitong mga proof letters para more or less, with permission, nasasabi nyo. So, very important, you prepare some testimonial. Number 4, statistics. Ano mga statistics? Statistics shows that it's better to invest on the pre-development stage. Because you buy low and you sell high. Di ba? So alam naman natin yan, di ba? Na pag ang mga developer nasa planning pa lang, nasa launching pa lang, agawan ang mga investor speculator. Because of the location, pre-launching, affordability, good terms, etc., etc. Clear yan. Statistics shows that when you invest on the pre-development stage, you have the high potential in terms of growth, appreciation ng iyong investment. So, kailangan meron kang mga data to support this. Next. Ayan, mga bata, magaling kayo dyan, di ba? Gumawa ng mga materials nyo. Kailangan may pakita nyo yung trend. Ano ba ang trend sa atin? Ano ba ang cycle ng growth sa atin? Diba? Every 3 years, tuwing may election, every 6 years. Normal lang sa atin, every 3 years, diba? Kung national, every 6. Diba? Kasi related tayo kung sino magiging leader natin, etc., etc. You have to show the exhibit. You have to show the trend, no? Very, very important, no? Kaya nga, kinukwento yan, basahin niyo yung life story ni Tatang, di ba? Founder ng SMDC, di ba? Ano lagi niyang sinasabi? I always invest during crisis. Bakit? For every crisis, I always see the opportunity. And I remember, no, senior niya. Ano yung mga senior niya? During martial law. Just imagine martial law. That's the time na nag-invest siya. Sabi niya, bakit daw siya nag-invest during martial law? Kasi lahat ng oligarchs natakot when the martial law was declared. So what happened? Ang dami siyang nabili dyan sa Dasmariñas Village, mga exclusives village sa Makati. Jackpot. Diba? Then, next na kinuwento niya, after martial law, what happened? When Aquino was assassinated, sabi niya, diyan din ko din-establish yung SM North. Di ba? Ano pa, nung 1986, People Power, diyan ko binuksan ang Mega Mall. Di ba? Kung makikita mo, di ba? The way he sees it, di ba? Because of the historical trend, alam niya, I invest during crisis because the opportunity is there. No? Sometimes, marami siyang mga ganyang klaseng mga testimonial exhibits. O sige, next. Sometimes you have to give an example. Close to them. Example, si Mr. Garcia. Gusto niya itong location na to kasi maganda yung location, etc., etc. Pero nagpo-procrastinate. Alam naman nyo, isa lang ho ako sa 5,000 accredited seller. Na pag-alis ko dito, 5,000 mag-aagawad diyan sa magandang location na yan. Di ba? Alam naman natin yan, mga creating your sense of urgency. So sometimes you have to give actual na nangyari. Example, no? And of course, sabi nga natin, there is no substitute for an actual demonstration. Kaya nga sinasabi natin bago ang kliyente, investor magsisi, CICE, bago magsisi ang kliyente, kailangan yung principle ng real estate investment, no? Ipakita mo. You talk about investment, you talk about the language of the investor. Ano yung CICE, CICE? Your cash flow, your income tax advantage, your capital appreciation, and yung equity build-up. Pag hindi mo na ipakita yan, baka magsisi. Because those are the logical reason why they invest. And there is the placebo, the lifestyle reasons why they invest in real estate. I call it the placebo. Ano yung placebo? Number one, pride of ownership. Number two, they invest because of the leverage. Letter E, they invest because of the estate building. Di ba? The moment you have the, di ba? Parang insurance, di ba? The moment nagpa-insure ka ng 1 million, kahit first monthly pa lang, ang value mo na agad 1 million. The same thing with real estate, no? You use it for estate building. Ano pa? Sometimes you use real estate for building your portfolio, balancing your portfolio, and then yung O, merong opportunity from some pricing abnormalities. Ang tawag doon, placebo. So kailangan alam mo yun. But you can read that. Just read the real estate handbook by Baron. How to sell real estate as an investment. Whether logical or emotional reason. O sige po. Any question at this point? Sir, paano po ma-push si client na mag-tripping in good way po para mapresentahan ng maayos? That's a good questions, no? Lalo na with the digital selling, no? Ito mga share lang ito. Sino daw yung mga lalong yumaman during crisis? Kasi dyan nag-evolve ang digital selling, no? Lalo na kaming mga matatanda, no? Senior citizen. Sanay kami sa traditional face-to-face. And here comes digital selling, no? So pag hindi ka naka-adjust, mawawala ka, di ba? Kaya nga nilaunch yung program na Uto-Uto, Zero 2020. Anong sabihin ng Zero 2020? Kailangan ngayon, online to offline to online to offline. Di ba? So very, very important, mabilis ka. Yung agility mo, yung iyong flexibility at saka resilience. Kaya ang tawag nito, Zero 2020. Online to offline to online to offline. So let's go back to the questions. Di ba? Given the digital environment, how do you convince the client to visit site whether digitally or real, face-to-face, no? So, very, very important. Ano daw ang ibig sabihin? Acronym ng placebo. Yung placebo, ulitin ko lang ha, P-L-A-S-E-B-O. Hindi letter C ha, letter S, placebo. At yung tanong niya, ano daw yung meaning ng C? Letter S yun. Ang meaning ng S is what? Security of capital. Di ba? Alam naman nila pag real estate tangible na hawakan. Security of capital. Yung letter O, opportunity for pricing abnormalities. Bakit sinama namin yung O? Yan yung nangyari sa MOA. When MOA, wala pang mga POGO, magkano lang yung mga unit yan? Below 2 million. Yun lang ang presyo niyan before the POGO. Dumating yung POGO, nagkaroon ng pricing abnormalities. Yung 2 million, naging 5 million. Yung 10,000, naging 20 to 30,000 rental. So, merong tinatawag na opportunity from some pricing abnormalities. We don't know what will happen, no? With the war, with what is happening in the world, we don't know what will happen. Baka mamaya, sa Pilipinas na pumunta sila lahat at dito na sila titira. Dahil sa takot sa nangyayari sa Amerika, sa Europe, or whatever. We'll never know. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng placebo. Sige, going back to yung questions. Ano yung tanong natin kanina-kanina? Para ituloy natin yung ating tanong. How do you convince the client to go on site inspection? Unang-una, no? At baguhin niyo yung phraseology. Huwag yung tatawagin na tripping. Kung minsan kasi, sa ibang bansa, pag sinabing tripping, may tripping kami. Anong dating sa kliyente? High na high ka, may tripping. Di ba? Yung iba naman pag sinabi, ma'am, Meron kaming, anong tawag dito? Meron kaming inspection, not inspection, di ba? Anong tawag dito? Parang funeral ang dating.
Viewing.
Viewing. Di ba? Tandaan niyo. Maliw kayo, meron kaming viewing. Pag sinabi ng viewing, parang may namatay, no? Sa COVID, kaya nga, ang dating parang funeral, no? Kaya mas maganda gamitin nyo sa Amerika. They call it site inspection, di ba? Site orientation. Mas maganda yung words. Ang tawag dito, sometimes we're using words that create fear. Use words that create desire. Yan ang tawag namin glamour words, proven words. Don't call it tripping, parang high ka. Don't call it viewing, parang may funeral. Okay, so anong ginawa ng isang testimony lang ito? From one of our clients, no? Na who made it out of 5,000 sales force nila that time, only 500 make it during the last 2 or 3 years, no? Yun lang ang trabaho mabuti at ang yumaman ng mabuti. So anong sinyer niya? Since karamihan ng mga, let's face it, no? Mga senior citizen, mga 40s, 50s, mga and up, no? Who have been in America for 10, 20, 30 years, most of their time, iba na yung kanilang lifestyle ngayon. Di ba? So, anong ibig ko sabihin? Dito, I'm sure, ginagawa na nyo yung mga virtual tour. Di ba? So, ang style niya, ganito. Unang-una sinasabi niya, ma'am, hindi mo naman ito bibili ng cash. Parang ganon, di ba? Na since ito, nasa developing stage, or in the case ito, in the case na example niya, house and lot, no? 6 months to 1 year bago matapos. Di ba? So yung equity, as usual, di ba? Babayaran mo during the construction period. Is the same thing with the house and lot. So ang ginawa niya, tinuruan niya yung kliyente. Inunahan niya, ma'am, since di naman yung babayaran ito in cash, mas maganda kung nakikita niyo yung development face by face. Di po ba? So nung nakuha niya yung agreement, tinuruan niya yung kliyente. Using the digital, virtual way of site orientation. And what will happen? Mas na-appreciate ng kliyente kasi naturuan mo rin siya. At sabi niya, in fact, ma'am, hindi lang sa real estate magagamit ito eh. Magagamit mo rin ito sa ibang bagay like shopping, etc., whatever. So, ibig ko sabihin, when you educate the client to do this, mas na-appreciate ng kliyente kasi tinutulungan mo siya. So, tandaan nyo ha, our client needs help. What kind of help? A help to make them the right decision. Kasi ayaw niyang magkamali. So, that's one way that was shared na pagka tinuruan mo yung kliyente, magaling ka magturo sa mga digital net, mas ma-appreciate nila kasi makikita niya yung application, na monitor pa niya yung development, especially kung ano yung material na ginagamit, anong stage, pag binubuhusan pa lang, ano yung mga material na ginagamit, mas na-appreciate ng kliyente. And client needs that kind of assistance because this is a major decision. O, sige po, may other questions? So, ulitin ko lang yung approach na ito. Gawa kayo ng sarili ninyong, di ba? Gawa po kayo ng sarili ninyong phraseology. Using the FABE, ang tawag ko dito, win-result statement. When you talk of feature, start with the word because. And then when you talk of advantages, start with the word you can. And when you talk of the benefits, what it means to you. And then support with evidence. So marami kayong magagawa dyan. Pag may na-identify kayo ng feature, di ba? Because you choose a project that is near the major road, you can rest assured na mag-a-appreciate ito ng mas mabilis. What it means to you, marami kang masisave na gasoline or transportation expenses. Kasi walking distance lang ang major road. Then support with evidences. So yun lang, just to share with you these 7 forms of evidence. Kayo na po ang gagawa niyan. And kung may mga tanong pa yan, baka limited na yung time natin, baka may mga tanong pa kayo. Kung wala, let me just share with you additional material. Sir, paano po malaman kung ang buyer ay phasing or getting in po lang para sa iba bibili? This is the power of asking the right questions, no? Pag umattend ho kayo ng seminar namin ng mga the power of asking the right questions, mas ma-apply niyong mabuti ito. Anong ibig ko sabihin? Marami kasing mga traditional salesperson. Di ba? You put a lot of ads, advertising, social media, and you get a lot of inquiry. And let's face it, 80 to 95% broker din yan, o seller din yan, o talaga nagkakanvas lang yung kliyente. Kasi nga, value for money. Kaya ang tanong dito, how do you know whether ang client is only fishing for information o ginagamit ka lang for comparison? Sabi nga ng digital selling, di ba? Ang digital selling, iba na yung language, no? Kami, mga traditional, ano yung language natin? Prospecting, contact, qualification, presentation, handling objection, closing. But if you talk with the current generation, iba na ho yung language nila. Diba? Instead of prospecting, anong tawag nila? You're always connecting. Instead of contact, you're always capturing. Meaning you capture all the information. Instead of qualification, you're always cultivating relationship. In other words, the exchange of message. And instead of handling objection or closing, instead of presentation, you are immediately closing for an appointment. So tandaan nyo ha, pag na-qualify mo sila, importante, ma-close mo na for a face-to-face or screen-to-screen reality. Ganong kabilis ngayon. You close them for an appointment. And instead of closing, ang tawag dito, conversion. And with all the tools, virtual technology, virtual documentation, ganun ngayon ang kabilis. Di ba? Kaya nga ang terminology, 5 C's na in digital selling. Ulitin ko lang, alam naman yan. Step 1, you're always connecting. Step 2, you're always capturing the information. Step 3, you're always cultivating the relationship. Step 4, you're always closing for an appointment. And step 5, you'll always do the conversion. Okay, so basically, yun ang gusto kong emphasize. Okay, kung may mga tanong pa, kung hindi, I can share another idea on a behavior approach of handling objections. Nathan, ready na yung next slide para makita lang nila, the buyer base? Wala pa. O sige. Sige, sabihin ko lang, sige. Sige, back muna tayo, back to the last slide natin. Sige, let me just share with you the buyer-based selling. Itong buyer-based selling na ito is a behavior-based approach. No? So, ano ibig sabihin ng behavior-based approach? Pwede nating i-cancel muna itong i-ending na lang natin yung champion script, Nathan. Sige. Sige, doon muna tayo sa buyer-based selling. Anyway, discuss ko lang para may idea sila. So ano itong buyer-based selling? It's a different approach of handling objections. No? Pag sinabing behavior-based, marunong ka magbasa ng behavior ng kliyente during your negotiation. So ano yung 5 dominant behavior? Sabi nga natin, the traditional way of selling is we manage the sales process, di ba? In today's environment, matatalino na ang kliyente. So, kailangan ma-manage natin yung buying process. Kaya ang tawag dito, di ba, is caveat venditor. Nung araw, buyers beware. Di ba? Caveat emptor. Ngayon, matatalino na ang kliyente, ang tawag caveat venditor. In other words, sellers beware. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? It's about time to sell on a buyer's perspective. Paano bumili ang kliyente? Marunong ka magbasa ng dominant behavior. during the sales process. Kaya ang tawag dito, behavior-based. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Papasa ko sa utak ng kliyente para malaman mo paano siya bumili. Di ba? You will think, feel, act like a client. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, from a buyer's perspective. Di ba? Para ka ng assistant buyer. Ayan, thank you. Thank you for sharing the buyer-based selling. Maganda rin itong i-apply in terms of handling objections. So, let me share with you the buyer-based selling. This is a behavior-based. Hindi ka na seller, para ka ng buyer. You are no longer a seller, you become a consultant, an assistant buyer, an expert trusted advisor, or you yourself is the buyer. You know concept ng buyer-based selling. Alam naman nyo ito. It's just changing your perspective. Sige, let me just share fast the slides bago tayo mag-open forum kung may time pa. Sige, next slide. So, step 1. Sige. Sige, Nathan, next slide para more or less clear. So, buyer-based selling, tandaan nyo yung inyong role, you will become an attitude changer. So, there are 5 behavior that you will manage. No? So, ano yung 5 behavior? Number 1, an attitude of rejection. Pag ang nakita mo ang kliyente, there is an attitude of rejection, what is our job? We have to change rejection to what? To acceptance. Sige. That's the solution. Sige, next slide. So, our job is to change rejection to acceptance. Question, bakit na nare-reject? Because the client don't like you and trust you yet. In other words, you have to build rapport. Diba? People buy people before product or services. That's why your job is to change rejection to acceptance. They must like you and they must trust you. Yan ang basic ng professional selling. Build friendship, kaibiganin mo yung kliyente mo. Step 2, develop trust, mapagkatiwalaan ka. And third, you gain their respect. Tama-tama yan sa prospecting, no? Diba? You will always receive rejection when you are on the prospecting side. Number 2, attitude that you will be aware. Granting that you build rapport already. You build already rapport. What's the next behavior that you will manage? When you start introducing yourself and you will receive an attitude of indifference. Pag na-identify mo yung attitude of indifference, meron kang gagawin. Ano yung gagawin mo? As an attitude changer, bakit indifferent yung kliyente sa inyo? Kasi hindi mo pa na-identify ang alin. Sige, next slide. Yung kanyang interest. So, your job is to change indifference to interest. Sabi nga natin, who is the best teacher here? I'm sure you have a banker. Di ba? Visit your banker. Tingnan nyo, ang galing ng mga bankers, every time they look at you, they will always look at you with interest. So try that pag binisita niyo yung inyong banker. Every time they look at you, they will always look at you with interest. So in other words, pag nakita mo yung indifference, hindi mo pa nakukuha yung kanyang interest. Ang ibig sabihin nun, you are broadcasting. You don't listen to their 2 radio station. Ano ba yung FM station ng kliyente? DWII-FM. What's in it for me? Pag hindi mo pa na-trigger yan, you'll never get their interest. Ano yung AM station? DMM-FIAM station. Ano yung sabihin nun? Yung bang sasabihin mo will make me feel important about myself. If you talk about your product, I don't care. If you talk about yourself, I don't care. You talk about me, I'll listen to you. You know yung AM station. Dear. Yung bang sasabihin mo will make me feel important about myself. So that's the strategy, di ba? If there is an attitude of indifference, turn indifference to interest. Third, whenever you make your presentation, they will always doubt you. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Never tell what you can ask. So when you see that element of doubt, anong gagawin mo? You change doubt to, next slide, belief. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Dito nyo ipapasok yung 7 forms of evidence. Never tell what you can ask. You know, I'm a licensed broker. So what? You know, I'm connected with a reputable developer. So what? You know, maganda yung location namin. So what? Because you talk about yourself. That's why do not tell. Make it a question. Dito na nyo gagamitin yung mga questioning technique. Instead na maganda ang location, lalagyan nyo ng mga technique. Location is very important today, isn't it? Sa halip na sabihin, you know, I'm a licensed broker. I'm sure you would want to transact business with a licensed broker, don't you? Diba? Mas maganda kesa sinasabi mo. Diba? You know, this is a quality project. Quality in a project is important today, isn't it? So ito na yung application na never tell what you can ask. So again, this is just an attitude. If you see an element of doubt, dito nyo ilalagay yung 7 forms of evidence. Change doubt to belief. Ito, applicable sa handling objection. Next slide. Procrastination. Kanina maraming tanong dyan, no? Procrastination. Bakit ang kliyente nagpapatumpik-tumpik? Procrastination. Living yesterday, avoiding the present, ruining the tomorrow. Bakit sila nagpo-procrastinate? It means you were not able to build what? Keyword. Sige, next slide. The desire. Ano yung sabihin ng desire? The sense of urgency. Dito nyo magagamit yung ube. Ano yung ube? How do you capture their imagination? Remember, you are selling the future. So you have to capture their imagination. Ano yung ube? As if prospect pa lang, parang customer na. As if they're already using, end user na. Investor pa lang, at least nakita na nila yung benefit na nag-a-appreciate na. Enjoying, as if naliligo na sila o nag-gym na sila. Enjoying. So that's the key. To change procrastination to desire, build the sense of urgency as if ube. And last, when you are closing, ang pinakamahirap na behavior, yung fear. Ano yung fear? Ulitin ko lang, fear of making bad decision. That's why our job is to change fear to what? Confidence. So that's the key word, di ba? Our client needs somebody, needs you, needs us to help them. What's the key word? Rationalize. Na tama ang decision na ginawa nila. Kasi number 1 fear is fear of making bad decision. That's why they must be confident. Kaya tama yung definition ni Tom Hopkins. Our job in closing is to help the client make decisions that are good for them. Actually, good for both. Kailangan customer first o sa hospital, patient first. So these are the 5 behavior that can, I'm sure, help you handle any kind of objections, conditions, and excuses. Ulitin ko lang. We are like a psychologist. Identify the 5 behavior. If there is a rejection, change rejection to acceptance. If there is a indifference, change indifference to interest. If there is a doubt, change doubt to belief. If there is a procrastination, change procrastination to desire. And then finally, if they have the attitude of fear, change the attitude of fear to confidence. So with that, maybe we're open to open forum. Baka may mga tanong kayo, few questions that you want to be clarified, Floy, or from the MBR. We're open to some questions, clarification.
Wow, thank you so much, Sir June. I'm so sure everybody's enjoying the topic this morning. And again, guys, as mentioned by our speaker, the floor is now open for questions. Baka meron po silang mga tanong na hindi nyo pa naitanong kanina dito sa chat box. Please feel free to type in your questions. Habang kasama pa natin si Sir June, very precious ang time ni Sir, very busy. Buti nakuha nga natin today yung oras niya. So, take advantage habang kasama natin siya dito. Ayan, Sir, we have one in the chat box from Mr. Eduardo Parde. What is your biggest objection in selling?
Okay, that's good. That's a good question. What is your biggest objection in selling? Sabi nga namin, di ba? Wala akong ma-identify kasi na-challenge lagi ako pagka objections, di ba? Kasi pag finalo natin yung sales process, no, ang problema, minsan tayo, no? We do not follow. In other words, going back to the 5 reasons why we fail to close a sale, di ba? Number 1, economics, no? In other words, basta ka na lang nagpipresent. Hindi ka nagka-qualify. Ulitin ko lang, no? O hindi ka marunong mag-disqualify. Sayang yung oras natin. Following the champion's motto, how to do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. Number 2, ano nga sabi natin? Yung value perception. Ano sabihin ng value perception? Ang mura sa iyo, mahal sa akin. Ang mahal sa iyo, mura sa akin. Kaya kailangan meron kang tinatawag na reflex, ang mahal naman. Di ba? Pag sinabing ang mahal naman, dapat mabilis ka. Ito yung Filipino way, no? Sabi nga ni Dr. Rocano. Ang gusto ng Pilipino, consultative sa palagay mo, sa tingin mo, sa worry mo, sa damdam mo. Ang mahal naman. Bakit po ma'am, sa palagay nyo, magkano ba ito dapat? Para ang kliyente magsasalita. Meron siyang comparison. Kasi galing ako sa iba, ganito ang presyo. Bakit ang presyo mo ganito? Tandaan nyo ha, kailangan ang kliyente mag-react. Kailangan ng kliyente magsalita ng mabuti. And you can do that by doing this, yung tinatawag naming reflex questions. Ano yung reflex question? These are questions when you do something fast without thinking. Di ba? Kaya pag nag-i-inquire pa lang, di ba, kung minsan ginagamit na yan, I'd like to inquire dito sa nilaunch yung product na gold condominium across the NAIA 3. Di ba? So nagtatanong pa lang ng ganon, di ba? Anong ginagawa mo? Ma'am, sandali lang ho, titingnan ko kung may available pa. Di ba? Medyo tinatakot mo ang kliyente. In 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Ma'am, thank you for waiting. This is June Gary. May I ask who's calling, please? Yes, Miss Floy. May I know what attracts you to our advertisement? Etc. etc. Ma'am, gusto niyong mag-reserve online? Ang gusto niyong pumunta mismo sa site or sa opisina namin? O, di ba? Minsan, tinetest mo agad ang kliyente with the habit of closing. Di ba? Ipadala mo na lang yung brochure. Ma'am, may I know your address? Etc. 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 Telephone number, just in case. Ma'am, nasa area na rin ako at this afternoon or tomorrow. Can I pass by? More or less para I can handle? And of course, magre-react sila. What I'm trying to say is what? Mabilis ka sumagot. Kaya ang tawag dito, reflex. This is another skills, no? It's another module. How to do something fast without thinking, no? So, yun ang tawag doon, reflex. Reflex question. Kailangan masanay kayo sa mga 6 types of reflex question. I'm sure alam na niyo yan, but if you want to do further, umatendo kayo ng ganitong program. Part of the module yan, ang masterclass namin ng breakthrough selling. The 6 reflex questions. Para for every stimulus, you don't pause. You have an automatic response. May mga nagtanong, ulitin daw yung laser. Again, yung laser, yung meaning ng laser, L means listen, A means acknowledge, S with sincerity, E means explore, and R means respond. So thank you, Lino, for joining. Alam ko, familiarity ka na lang ito. As veterans, you want to be reminded what you already know. So may mga tanong po kayo na you want to be clarified?
Sir, ito from Miss Amy Abelia. Sir, where can we get your books? Oh, ang gandang tanong nun.
Okay. So ilang bang gusto kukuhanin mo? 5 o 10? Kino-close na agad na kita. Available yan. Available yan online. So pwede kong nandiyan yan, mamaya post rin natin yung ating online para you can order the e-books. Wala pa hong physically, hindi pa hong nare-reprint kasi kare-revise lang po yan.
1
Okay,
dozen
so-
daw po, sir, ang kailangan ni Miss Amy. Siguro pamigay sa mga sellers ng You First Realty.
Ayan, so thank you. Magandang gift yan, no? Hindi ka na mahirapang i-remind sila. Kasi ito yung kwento ng mga ahente that they have done it, they have used it, they have applied it. May mga script dyan. May mga phraseology, may mga situation na pwede mong kopyahin. Sabi nga natin, creation begins with imitations. So, nandyan po yan. So, thank you for inquiring. Just call my brother Nathan. And ang tanong ko lang, would you like to send your payment via online, BPI, or PayMaya, or GCash? So, post na lang ako.
Closing technique.
Oo, the first person who talks loses.
Yes.
O, di ba? So, will you pay in cash or in check? O, BPI na lang daw siya. Sige. Sige. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Dory. Thank you, Dory. Dory pala. Participant namin si Dory. Thank you for joining Dory from Pasay Makati Realtors Board. She will be joining our Thursday. Ito na yung last session namin for this year. We'll start next week. Every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. 6 module po yan. These are the basic fundamentals foundation. 6 na module po yan. Module 1, the profile of a Filipino sales champion. Module 2, ito yung sinatanong nyo. The Filipino art of communication. Module 3, Module 4, Module 5, ito yung mga professional selling skills. From prospecting to qualification, from a high-impact presentation to handling objection, and develop the habit of closing. And the last module, ito yung habits of the champion. The time planning, goal setting, and then the commitment exercise on how to earn your first million in 30 days, 90 days, or 1 year, depende sa inyo kung mababaw ang kaligayahan mo in 1 year. Kung matindi ang pangangailangan mo, probably in 30 to 90 days. Depende yun sa tao. Kaya nga, in 30 days, develop the habits of the champion. In 90 days, it becomes a lifestyle. And in 1 year, it becomes your destiny. Basta PDR lang po. Practice, drill, and rehearse. So join us Thursday. This is our last 15th episode for the year. Join us for the next 6 Thursday. Thank you, Ms. Dory Pizarra, for enrolling dito sa ating masterclass, The Filipino Art of Breakthrough Selling. So tandaan nyo yung title pa lang, Breakthrough. Anong Tagalog ng breakthrough? Bibigay ka, maglaladlad ka na, magpapakatotoo ka na. So talagang yun ang objective. Breakthrough. Bring out the best in you.
Okay, so as much as we would like to entertain all your questions, gusto pa rin natin na ma-enjoy nyo naman yung inyong lunch. We will be having another session this afternoon. So if marami po tayong gusto pang matutunan kay Sir June, as mentioned earlier, meron siyang regular classes na ginagawa. I'm actually a graduate of his Train the Trainers program. Kinuha ko lang din yan this year, diba, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Floyd, for that.
So, these are really worthy as an investment sa mga katulad natin na nagpa-practice. So feel free to enroll sa mga classes niya. Last batch na daw yung yung tomorrow. Tomorrow ba matatapos yung last batch or magsa-start pa lang tomorrow?
So, thank you, thank you. Meron nag-join 10 years ago, Mr. Garing. At least buhay ka pa.
Nakakaloka yun.
Sabi niya,
Mabubuhay pa ng matagal si Sir Jude.
sabi niya, I'm still alive, alert, awake, and feeling well. Thanks God. At lagi akong nagigising. Mahirap yung hindi yung natutulog na hindi nagigising. So with that, maybe we can end with the Champions Creed. Yung
Okay,
Champions Creed natin, yung last lang, para more or less ma-remember lang nila yung mga graduates natin who have attended this program. Ulit-ulit lang naman ako. These are just for the newbie, it's something new probably. For the veterans, it's familiarity. So sige, let's read all together the Champions Creed. Di ba? May Champions Prayer na tayo. And then, I think 4 times pinakinig lang sa amin sa iyo yung Champion Song. Ngayon naman yung Champions Creed. Sige, again, acknowledge the source, no other than Tom Hopkins. No? Siya pa rin yung aking role model when it comes to professional selling. So let's read all together. Thank you, MBR, for inviting me to become part of your advocacy to train a million sales champion that will sell the best Philippine product and services to the world. So with that, let's read the Champions Creed. 1, 2, 3.
I am judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed is directly proportional to the number of times directly proportional to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
Hindi ko narinig eh. Pwede bang ulitin with emotion? Para mas marinig ko, kailangan i-emote nyo, feel the words. Di ba sabi nga natin, if you want to be successful, ang kalaban ng success is failure.
Yes.
So develop the right attitude kahit anong klaseng failure. Sabi nga ni Tom Hopkins, either natuto ka lang, charged to experience, either binibigyan ka lang ng kliyente na feedback para baguhin mo yung iyong approach. Number 3, see the humor. Huwag ka masyadong serious. Rejection is not a person, it's just an event. Number 4, kung nagpa-practice ka pa lang, pinagpa-practicean mo lang ang kliyente, kasi bagito ka pa lang, you lack the knowledge, attitude, and skills. Later on, you will perfect it. And number 5, probably it's a numbers game, ratio. Chine-check yung ratio mo. Ngayon pa ba, 20:4:1 ka? O baka naman 15:3:1, di ba? Tingnan mo yung ratio mo. Yun ang mga proven ratio. Sige po, ulitin natin. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
I am
not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed.
And the number of times I succeed
Directly proportional to the number of times keep trying.
And last, lagay niyo yung pangalan niyo huli para wala na si Tom Hopkins. June Garing, para more or less sa'yo na itong kay Champions Creed. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
I know me provost of judged by the number of times I fail, not by the number of times, and the number of times I succeed is directly proportional to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
So with that, see you flying. Let's all fly together. Dagang salamat, Floyd. Dagang salamat, MBR, Tosya. Thank you for everyone for joining this advocacy of Manila Board Realty.
Thank you very, very much.
See you at the top. Thank you.
God bless, sir.
Sure.
God bless.
Please allow us to present your certificate of appreciation before we disperse and have a quick break. So from the Manila Board of Realtors Inc., present the Certificate of Appreciation to Discoro Garing Jr. in appreciation of his invaluable contribution as resource speaker to the 2022 Manila Real Estate Forum, Thrive in Project Selling, with the topic Turning Arguments into Agreement or Handling Objections.